There have been 3 times in my life where I've been completely encapsulated with a TV show. These shows became a huge part of my life, and I can only give my praise to them. But there is one specific show that has stayed with me since before I could even think coherent thoughts. My adoration for this show started at a very young age. I grew up watching it, and I think it's safe to say that I'm pretty well versed in the topic of this particular show. Specifically, the show's first 3 seasons. They are the most captivating, funny, and entertaining pieces of television that I have ever had the pleasure of experiencing. And it's about a talking sponge in the ocean. The first 3 seasons of SpongeBob SquarePants are the greatest pieces of television ever created. And as bold of a statement that is, I believe it to be completely true. SpongeBob SquarePants is an animated cartoon that airs on Nickelodeon. It's about SpongeBob and his friends in the town they inhabit, Bikini Bottom. Every episode of SpongeBob has a different story. There is no coherent storyline following each episode, and they all have very simple premises behind them. They are things that are not complex from an outside perspective, yet they are also the greatest 11 minutes you will ever live through. The fact that each episode is a different story is something that works in its favor. It makes it easier to digest and allows anybody to watch any episode and feel that they can understand what is happening. Each episode has very simple premises, and they all have at least one message to it. Some are simple, like you can do anything you set your mind to, or always be yourself. But some episodes have darker and deeper meanings that aren't always obvious. The disconnected storyline makes the show feel more like a look into these strange animals' lives, rather than a traditional television show episode. And that's exactly what this show is. These are all just glimpses into the life of SpongeBob and his friends, and nothing more than that. SpongeBob wouldn't be SpongeBob without the main characters. The characters on this show consist of SpongeBob SquarePants, the main character, Patrick Star, SpongeBob's best friend, Sandy Cheeks, a squirrel from Texas, Mr. Krabs, SpongeBob's greedy boss, and Squidward, SpongeBob and Patrick's grumpy neighbor. These characters don't go through very much, if any, character development, which further emphasizes the simplicity of the show. Everyone is pretty stagnant in the way they act. And while all of these characters have some sort of major role with SpongeBob, I want to talk about 3 specific characters that make SpongeBob so special, starting with Squidward. Squidward's character most resembles the actions of adults. He faces problems that adults complain about. He hates his annoying and loud neighbors, he hates his job, and he dreams of pursuing something bigger to escape from the life he has now. He's just a cynical middle-aged squid, and although he does display empathy throughout the show, he's a true complainer at heart. Squidward, being the grumpy and bitter squid he is, and SpongeBob being the very overly positive and joyous sponge he is, allows for some great exchanges between the two. Adults with similar attitudes can relate to Squidward and his apathetic outlook, establishing that this show isn't just for children to understand and enjoy, but adults can enjoy this too. Patrick Star is, well, he's an idiot. His purpose in the stories throughout the first 3 seasons is to be the funny, completely idiotic friend to SpongeBob, and he serves this purpose well. Patrick is undoubtedly the funniest character in the show during these 3 seasons. With his idiotic statements, coupled with SpongeBob's strange insistence of telling him that he's the smartest one in Bikini Bottom, Patrick is able to get some of the funniest lines in the show.
This guy's so rich, he has a swimming pool in his swimming pool.
This guy's got shoes.
Remember, Patrick, flatter the customer. Make him feel good.
Hello?
I love you.
I think you laid it on a teensy bit thick there, old pal. Let me try.
Please, go away.
How you doing?
How am I doing?
Wanna buy some chocolate?
We got him now!
Sorry, chocolate has sugar, and sugar turns to bubbling fat. Isn't that right, lover boy?
It tickles.
I think you get the point. He's stupid. And then there's SpongeBob himself. The man, the myth, the sponge. The focus and the name of the show. If you were to look at SpongeBob as a character, his motives, strengths, and weaknesses, it may seem rather boring in comparison to other complex characters from other TV shows. The show doesn't depict SpongeBob as a complex character. That wasn't Steven Hillenburg's goal, the creator of SpongeBob. SpongeBob does things with little to no thought, and this shows that there is nothing more to SpongeBob than what you see at surface level. Even his name is very simple, as it reflects on what he looks like, a sponge with square pants. Steven Hillenburg wanted to depict SpongeBob as an innocent, carefree sponge living his life. This aspect of SpongeBob is the reason why so many children can resonate with him. He does everything with no doubt, which reflects the actions of children. Children are simple and pure at heart. They just do things without any doubt in their mind, and when something goes wrong, they acknowledge it and move on, just like SpongeBob. For children to see a cartoon that resembles that of their own actions is something special and is the reason why children are so drawn to this character. Although SpongeBob does display characteristics of a child, he is definitely an adult. He owns a home, goes to work, and has other adult responsibilities. SpongeBob as a character is a representation of adulthood from a child's perspective. SpongeBob, for the most part, has an adult life. He has adult friends, responsibilities, he deals with rude coworkers, among other things. Despite these problems and everyday adult responsibilities, SpongeBob approaches these things with an innocent and eager attitude, much like a child. And I think that's the reason that adults and children alike can resonate with this show so much. Displaying what it would be like if essentially a child were to do adult activities while still maintaining the purity and innocence of youth is what separates the show from everything else. This is how SpongeBob appeals to all demographics. It's able to display adulthood and childhood in unison so that everybody watching has something they can relate to. SpongeBob just brings people together, and at least for me, it's taught me to appreciate the things that allow me to just have a good time. Yeah, the stories are great and the characters are funny, but there's something else that makes this show so special. It allows people of all ages to appreciate and enjoy the show, and this is why it is the greatest show on television, because SpongeBob is a show for everyone.